20 secrets that Apple Store workers don't want you to know. Anyone who's set foot in an Apple Store will know they're a step above the usual retail experience. From the meticulously laid out shop floor to the unparalleled customer service and technical support, it's the last bastion of brick-and-mortar stores. And of course, it wouldn't be the same without its dedicated army of employees and Apple geniuses. But just like any other store, Apple Store workers have plenty of their own secrets that they don't want the general public to know about. Number 20. They've seen you in all your glory. For instance, you can bet that every single person with an Apple-adorned blue shirt will have seen a customer's naked pics at some point. If you don't want a genius to browse your nude snapshots, it's probably best to wipe your phone before you get it fixed. They see everything.
Before we continue with the rest of the video, we could use your help. Click that like button to help spread the word about Watchjojo, and also be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos.
19. They're a step ahead. When was the last time you heard about someone trying to rob an Apple Store? Never? That's probably because the company's loss prevention methods are, well, genius. Every customer knows they're being monitored. We're trained to stand certain ways, to always be facing the front, and to greet every person. One employee told Mental Floss. Number 18. Your inbox isn't safe. If you've ever signed into a social media account on one of the demo iPhones or iPads and didn't log out, chances are the employees, and probably a few random customers, have sneaked a peek at your messages. Sure, management specifically forbids them from doing so, but after having to take on the chore of resetting dozens of iPads, who can blame them? Number 17. They're trained in talking to you. Many retail stores have their own personalized internal motto or rules to help employees in their day-to-day routine. Unlike the infamously creepy Walmart chant, however, the Apple Store has a far more serene, yet still pretty cheesy, acronym for staff service in Apple, each step of which details another process in greeting, talking to, and bidding farewell to customers. Number 16. The Genius Bar isn't so genius at booking. If you've ever stood in line for hours to talk to a genius despite having a pre-scheduled appointment, it's probably because those slots are often triple booked, according to the Wall Street Journal. It makes sense in case of no-shows, of course, but that doesn't really help when you're waiting in line. Number 15. The customer is always right. Apple Store workers are under strict orders never to say no to customers, no matter the situation. And it's little wonder they don't want you to know that. Can you imagine how much fun you'd have trying to get them to utter that two-letter gem? Number 14. You can get a free fix. Perhaps one of the most interesting secrets surrounding the Apple Store is that you can sometimes get your phone, tablet, or computer fixed with no charge, thanks to certain loopholes. Indeed, one ex-employee told Thrillist that you can point to known defects like iPhone 6's camera lens issue to get the entire thing replaced for free, even if the real problem is a cracked screen. Number 13. Staff face internal power struggles. As it turns out, Apple's reputation for pretension precedes it through its employees, at least in some stores, where the inbuilt hierarchy from entry-level sales reps to creatives and geniuses can be unbearable. The power dynamic can be a little off-putting if you're new, an ex-employee told Thrillist. The higher-ups like to show off their knowledge any chance they get. Number 12. Unhappy workers vent their anger online. Indeed, things aren't always as rosy as they seem in the Apple Store. Plenty of disillusioned employees have voiced their frustrations at working there over the years. However, they're forced to do so through anonymous social media accounts because, according to ex-employee Paul Brown, Apple's own internal systems for rooting out staff problems aren't helpful enough. Number 11. Not everyone's trying to sell you those sneaky extras. Even though seeing an Apple genius doesn't cost in itself, you probably think they're going to try to sell you every phone, tablet, add-on, and accessory to replace your broken tech. In fact, the geniuses aren't commission-driven. It's actually the specialists who are most likely to upsell. Number 10. Dishonest staff are taking their own bite of the apple. From playing football with phones to intentionally smashing iPads, wanton destruction runs deep through Apple stockrooms. Many employees have confessed to taking their broken phones and tablets into work and swapping them for brand new ones, straight from the store's inventory. Sly. Number 9. And there are a few really rotten apples. Destruction of property isn't the only cardinal sin that Apple employees have committed, however. Plenty of merchandise has been brazenly stolen. with one worker apparently stealing over $40,000 worth of iPhones. Number 8. Workers bump up their positioning. A specialist job performance ranking is linked to their sales, so it's no surprise that some have found ways to manipulate their records to beef up their figures. As one anonymous ex-employee told Gizmodo, just about everyone at the Genius Bar was guilty of it, creating false cases to cover things for people, using the customer service code to discount or not charge. Number 7. They're part of a secret club. Not only do Apple Store employees get access to all kinds of benefits, they're also privy to an exclusive set of apps, only open to employees. These range from internal communications apps and a newspaper to an experimental flight simulator and internal bug tracker. Just don't expect to get your hands on them anytime soon. Number 6. Don't give staff your diva demands. Being sweet to Apple Store employees pays off. If you treat them badly, you can expect to be hanging around there for ages. As ex-employee Bruce told Mental Floss, they'll walk into the back to see what they can do, but really they'll just sit back there and make you wait. Treat staff with respect, however, and they'll often go the extra mile to give you top-notch service. Number 5. Recommendations can get you a job. If you want to work at an Apple Store, it's worth knowing someone on the inside. In fact, some employees have been known to carry referral cards around with them, only to be handed out to those who provide the best service, be it in another retail store, restaurant, or whatever. Number 5. Loyal workers get rewarded. Apple Store employees in it for the long haul have their loyalty rewarded. Indeed, those who reach 5 years in the job are awarded a coveted plaque inscribed by Apple CEO Tim Cook. An earlier plaque signed by the later Steve Jobs was selling on eBay for $2,000 in 2011. Number 3. Staff must radiate positivity. As well as being able to say no, Apple Store employees are also forbidden from using any negative language at all. For instance, instead of delivering bad news with "unfortunately," they say "as it turns out." Next time you're in an Apple Store, chat with an employee to find out for yourself. Number 2. There's one easy way to drive staff crazy. If you only go into an Apple Store to mess around with the demo devices, you should probably know that the employees hate you. As an ex-employee complained to Mental Floss, people would make phone calls or they'd change the wallpapers. They'd have video chats with friends on Skype for 2 hours. On Reddit, another employee recalled that time someone pranked the store, changing every iPad wallpaper to a picture of Nicolas Cage. Number 1. Don't try to outfox staff. You'll never win. No matter how embarrassing the incident that led to your iPhone getting filled with water or other bodily fluids, it's best to just be straightforward with Apple Store workers. After all, they can always tell when you're lying, like the unfortunate Redditor who described the time a customer brought him a water-damaged iPhone, which ultimately turned out to be full of, urine. Please don't forget to share this video with your friends below. Please don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell to receive everything that's new.